Hi everybody, Sadibodani. Welcome to my channel. Kamala Montano Village, and on this channel sifunde iy'ncwadi ebhalwe ngolimi lwethu lwesiZulu bese sizala sokhuluma ngazo lezo y'ncwadi senzela abangenazo isikhathi sokufunda iy'ncwadi nalabo abanqena ukufunda. Siyaphinda futhi sibuka ama-reality shows ethu ala eMzansi bese siza la sokhuluma ngawo ama-shows, senze ama-reviews wama-recaps, siphinde futhi sikhulume nga-any other issues avuka uma ngabe lama-shows sesiwabukile kwi-TV. Siya-experimenta kancane on this channel because siyenza i-commentary on other issues that are taking place in our entertainment space, and comment kuwona nje just for fun, you guys, just for fun. Ningabi too serious here in the comment section. Here in the comment section. So I'm going to talk about the YouTube video that has broken the internet namhlanje. It's the two girls just on their YouTube video sitting and chillaxing, doing a sip and spill, which a lot of YouTubers like to do on their channel. And obviously, I mean, to make that interesting, they ask them each other like interesting questions. Obviously, these are friends, so it's people that they know each other, they know the stuff that they've done, you know. So the questions they're asking the questions that they probably already know the answers to, you know. But I felt like because I had watched other people's YouTube videos on this issue and I had commented on them, but I know that when I was commenting on just the clip that is going around, and that clip is basically about one girl is asking another one if she will date a broke guy, and then they go into defining what a broke guy is, and then another part is when one is asking the other one about the relationship that she had with one celebrity and how that relationship went. I'm not going to comment on the issues, the English guys. She did use one word incorrectly, and but like all of us English is basically bad. I just feel like that wasn't a big deal, like other people are making it to be a big deal. But I wanted to watch the whole video. Honestly, you get a really like different context when you have the whole video. Because number when I watched the clip, I was like, this is so dumb. These girls are sounding like they sound not very intelligent when you watch the clip. But after watching the whole video, guys, I get the context. Yeah, that video, I get the context of their discussion. But what surprises me a lot is the direction that the comments on the video have taken, because now the argument is on whether women have a right to comment on whether they can date broke guys or not. You know, women have a right to say if they can date guys or not. And I mean, I feel like we talk as women ourselves, we talk a lot about what men earn and what our requirements are for men when it comes to how much they should earn in order for them to qualify to date us as women. And it's almost like we expect men to make more than us. And I always feel like for me, it's such a struggle, that thing, because I do understand that yes, a man has to be in a position where they can take care of their own family. But at the same time, when I look at it in South Africa right now, in our economy, if you had to do like a circle like a pie, and you had to separate it in terms of how much of the pie goes to men in terms of earnings and in terms of ownership, whether it's ownership of the land, ownership of whatever the assets, if we had to separate that pie, the pie that goes to women in South Africa would probably be less than what goes to men. And I feel like, but at the same time, it's like a lot of it goes to men. But at the same time, our discussion, us as women, our discussion about how much is earned is always about how much men earn. And I do feel like, why are we doing that as women? Why are we not talking about how much we as women and how much we as women own? Because like even when they do this sip and and spill, the question is never going to be to another, a girl is never going to go ask another girl, if you earned 100,000 a month, would you date a guy that earns 90,000 a month? It's never going to be the question. It's almost like an assumption is that as a woman it's irrelevant how much you earn. And how much, no matter how low your salary or your income is, because as we know, they say that if you work a 9 to 5, you are broke. I have to take that definition because these are the 2000s, you guys. So I have to understand it from their perspective. So they're saying that no matter how much you earn as a woman, a man has to earn more than you. So even if it's almost like it doesn't really matter much how much as a woman you make, because that gap between you and a man will be closed by a man. So if you want to live a lifestyle where you are spending 100,000 rands a month on your lifestyle, you don't have as a woman to make 100,000 rands. That is what I get from everybody's comment on this video, is that they feel that if you are a woman, you have a right to want to live a lifestyle 100,000 rands a month. I'm just making an example, without you striving to make that 100,000 a month. It's like, as a woman, you have a right to expect that even if you make 1,000 rands a month, but that man that is going to come into your life must cover the gap between you and a man. Here's my issue with that. My issue with that is that as women, it's almost like we are accepting that there's always going to be that economic gap between us and men in terms of earnings. Like, we are okay with that. That is what bothers me the more about this video. It's not even about the video, but it's what people are saying after the video, because the girls were very clear in saying that is her definition of what a broke guy is. But she also says, which doesn't come in the clips, she also says that, yeah, they also do have their own stuff. They've moved out of home, they pay for their own apartments. Because for me, it is very important that our girls understand that it's important to have their own stuff, to have their own. Like, as a girl, you can dream to live a lifestyle where you spend 100,000 on yourself, and you can also dream to make that money yourself. I have a problem with us having teaching our girls, ukuthi, the only way that they can achieve that is to wait for a man to bridge that gap, because then we are creating a situation where girls are in relationships that provide them with this lifestyle, but they're in these relationships even when they don't want to be in these relationships, because if they walk out of these relationships, they cannot afford the lifestyles that they now live. Do you know ukuthi uma uxabene nomuntu mhla ka-13 kunemali afanele akunike yona mhla ka-15? That means for you mhla ka-14, whether you are wrong or right kuleyo fight leyo, mhla ka-14 you have to call the person and apologize, because there's a possibility that this man is gonna go on his internal banking app and stop that payment to you. Who wants to live like that? And for me, it concerns me, because I do feel like it's more important to teach our girls to make their own. Make your own. Like, if a man is coming here, now I come land, and then you can build together if you want to build together, and he can give you gifts or whatever. But you must never be in a position where a man feels like they rescued you. You, as a girl, you must never be in a position where a man feels like they have rescued you, because the day that they walk out of your life, they will walk out with everything that they have, and then you have to now downgrade your life when, because a man walked out of your life. I understand that. Yes, it's not, I'm not going to tell my daughter to date a man that depends on her, but I'm also going to tell her, do not date a man and depend on them. That is the same thing that I'm going to tell my son. Do not date a woman who depends on you, and do not depend on a woman financially. For me, it's very important that we bring the discussion to that point where we say, just as it is important for men to make it in terms of, like, financially, to make enough, it's important for women to also make enough. Whether this man wants to give you money to do your hair, he wants to give you money to do your nails, he can still do that. But if tomorrow he doesn't give it to you, you shouldn't be in a position where your girls are calling you on a Friday. Girl, we said we were going out today. Girls, like, I don't know, I don't think I can go out. He hasn't sent me the money. You must never be in that situation. Everybody must be able to be in a relationship where at any point they can walk out of and their lives will not be downgraded because they walked out of the relationship that wasn't working out. Nobody should ever be in a position where they are now staying in a relationship because now they feel that if they walk out of that relationship, their status now is going to change financially. That's why it's important that we encourage our girls to make it on their own, make your own, and your own. Do not date somebody that earns less than you, but make sure that you set the bar high yourself. Imagine if you earn 10,000 rands and you date somebody that earns 50,000 rands and they give you an allowance, let's say, like, because the numbers that they give sometimes they're unreasonable. I'm like, okay, the person gives you 20,000 a month, they give you 20,000 for like 4 years. But you even forget you're earning 10,000 now. And then one day, Nyakabana, and then he goes with his salary, he takes the 10,000, he gives it to his new girlfriend. And when now you haven't done anything to improve yourself and make sure that now you make enough to take care of the lifestyle that you are now living because of this person. I feel like our conversation needs to move away from what the men are earning because we already know men earn more than us. We thina sisebenza bo 9 to 5, we know ukuthi kuma-scales ama-salaries, men and women are not the same. There's still a gap that needs to be closed. So why is our conversation so much about what men are earning when we already know that they earn and own more than we do as women? Why isn't our conversation about how do we move as women and close that gap of how much we earn between us and the men? I just feel like for me personally, because I have girls, I have daughters, I want this conversation to move towards, girl, like be in a position where that man can walk out of that door and you'll be like, I'm cool. Like maybe your heart will be broken, but your wallet is like, okay, still okay. Because for me, that is important for me. I also am not looking forward to my son taking care of no woman's daughter, you know, because I'm definitely going to be telling my son, listen, if you date a girl, make sure that that girl is making money on her own. If you want to buy her gifts or whatever, you can, but it should be an option to you, that it shouldn't be an obligation that now you must give her money to improve her life. Kade hlalele ningazi-improve-eli yena impilo yakhe. I'm not expecting my son. I'm expecting that my son, when he's made it in life, then he can find somebody that has made it in life, and then they can come together and they can build together. I'm not gonna be telling my son, you must be prepared now. When you get a girlfriend, you must give them girlfriend allowance because they're gonna be doing their hair twice a week. Absolutely not. I'm not teaching my son that. If you are teaching your daughter that, then they're definitely not gonna be dating my son because my son is going to be looking for somebody that is also working hard, that has also made it, and they're going to come together and they're going to take care of each other. And my girl, I'm going to be teaching her the same. Listen, don't date anybody that you're going to have to take care of. Take care of yourself. If they can take care of themselves, then you can date that person. If they want to give you gifts or whatever, they can give it to you, but it's extra. It's not like you rely on them. Now you are sitting there on a Saturday because the guy didn't come back on Friday and you don't know he went with the card. Now you need to do your hair. You can't go and do your hair now because the guy didn't. What, if you want to wake up and go do your hair, go do a massage or do whatever for yourself, you wake up and you do it. That's what I want to teach my daughter. So this thing of expecting that, no, it's okay for girls, even if they don't earn that much, you're gonna find a man that will earn more than you and then cover that. No, I really, guys, I feel like there's something wrong with that. There's something wrong with us expecting that that gap will be closed by a man for our girls. I feel like we must be teaching them to be in a position where they never ever have to rely on a man. Never, ever, ever. And with my boy, I'm gonna make sure that I teach him as well. Listen, you do not have a child out there that is waiting to be taken care of by you. You do not. So find somebody that has made it just as much as you have made it, somebody that you can build with. Somebody that hasn't done anything for their lives and waiting for a girlfriend allowance from my son. I'm not happy. I'm not happy with that, you guys. I'm not happy with that. What do we do as women? What conversations are we supposed to have as women to make sure that the young girls they are empowered enough to understand that just as much as a man is expected to earn that 50,000 rand a month that they were talking about, that they can do that too for themselves. so that they don't have, now you're not going to be in a relationship that you don't want to be in. And we already know that there's more men, there's more women than there are men. So now the ones that don't have men in their lives, they're not going to live that lifestyle just because they're waiting for a man. You know, that was my issue. I feel like now that I've watched the video, my issue is not with the video itself. I feel like when you watch it, it doesn't say anything that is, of course, the issues of her saying that if you work a 9 to 5, if you work at a call center, those are just things that you can say I'm at 2000 Lavayana, they haven't gone through a lot of, impilo, they're still going to go through life and understand what's bantu who work at that call center and they take care of their families. And there are people who make like 100,000 rand umuntu angayikhokhi naleyo maintenance leyo for iy'ngane zakhe, for an example. So you might be in a relationship with somebody who earns that 100,000 rands a month, angakuniki ngisho isent, unayo, uhleli naye endlini, uhlupheke naye endlini, and then uthole ukuthi there is a father somewhere who earns that 50,000 rand and they can take care of their families. So I feel like lawo ma-comments lawo, for me, I associate them to just the immaturity. They are just young and they're still figuring out impilo. But I do feel like there's nothing wrong with saying I won't date a broke guy. But I feel like for me, that is not even as important as saying make money yourself as a woman, make money yourself as a girl, have a plan for yourself, have a plan for your future, have a plan for your financial future so that you don't even have to rely on a man. You don't have to get into a relationship just because ubona imali. Uthole ukuthi you are in a relationship with a guy that you don't even think is good looking because ubona imali, kufanele ungenele imali, you have your own. Then you can just relax. The person will come naye who has made it, who is secured and who's also good looking, and then you can get into a relationship. That's what I feel. I feel like after watching the video, I understand their point of view and I can excuse them on the stupid stuff that they said. I will just think it's because they're just young, they're still figuring impilo. But for the rest of us, honestly, the conversation, I feel like it's taking a direction that is not as important. It's important to be sharing information on how we make it as women and how we teach our young daughters what's in it. It's important to make it for themselves financially and also to teach our sons ukuthi these girls out there are not their responsibility. They do not have to take care of anybody's child. They can just work hard to make it so they can take care of themselves. Thank you very much for watching this video. Tell me what your opinion is down below. Guys, you are allowed to disagree with me. On this channel, we are allowed. You can just say, Danda, no, I do not agree. And I will accept it as long as we don't attack each other like personally. You can have fun, go crazy, but don't go maweni crazy. Just have fun in the comment section. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please like it before and share it with your friends, with your family, and even with strangers.